Hey guys, this is Chris with Everyman's Auto. This is my video car diary. It's on video. We're not in a car because I'm hiding in my basement to hurry up and get this done. And I guess this is my online diary because, you know, that's really manly to talk about your feelings. But we're not doing that today. But what we are going to talk about is the 2015 Ford Edge. And the reason we're talking about that is Ford flew me to Phoenix for I think I was in town for 18 hours. I wasn't even in town for a full day. So I got in Sunday afternoon, drove the car Monday morning, and was back out Monday afternoon. Got a day job, got to really actually work, pay the bills. Now, the important stuff about the Edge, it is a brand new, completely redesigned, from the frame up, new vehicle. Price-wise, what I drove the Sport in the Titanium. The Titanium, the MSRP was around $37,000. The Sport was around $40,000. Both of them were optioned up. The Titanium came in at about $43,000 and the Sport came in at about $46,000. Edmunds list kind of the average model for the vehicle there to be about $28,000. So the ones I drove were really nice, fully optioned. They checked all the boxes kind of thing, but most customers will be somewhere around the $28,000 range. Now, the drive itself, it looks fantastic, but then again, my fashion isn't always the best fashion sense, and so you're taking my word at something looking good when, I mean, look at me. I look in the mirror and think, this is the best I can do today. That might not be what you're actually looking for, but the good news is Ford has people that actually do have good taste, and they've applied that to the Edge, and I think it really looks great. They've kind of sharpened some lines on the exterior, but it's actually kind of softened the look of the vehicle to me a little bit. It kind of got rid of the round bumpiness and kind of, it really does look, it looks fantastic. It does share the kind of global design front end that you see on a lot of Fords nowadays, but I still like that front end, so I'm not upset about that at all. The exterior lighting's got some accent fog lights, some LED fog lights on the front that are they pop, they really bring the front end in. And when you get around to the back, they have something called light pipes. First of all, I just think that's a cool phrase, but it's kind of this red, think about the way a charger, the back of a charger lights up all the way around it. It kind of does that, but it's not the actual taillights. It's just this red kind of accent lighting on the back, and then the taillights themselves and the turn signals also illuminate. So the truck itself, really, it's not really a truck, but the SUV, CUV, does look good. It's kind of big for a CUV, weighing in about 4,000 pounds, or 3,900 to 4,000. It's kind of heavy. I got that stat off Ford's site, so if it's wrong, sorry. Engine options. You have 3 engine options with the new Edge. You have the base engine, which is the 2-liter 4-cylinder EcoBoost. Ford has had a 2-liter engine 4-cylinder EcoBoost before. This one's new. It's got a new block, new cylinders. It's got twin scroll turbo attached to it. So many new pieces in there that it's not quite the same engine that it used to be. You're going to get 245 horsepower out of that engine and 275 foot-pounds of torque. That's quite a bit out of such a tiny engine. They say it'll do 20 in the city, 30 on the highway. It'll combine to about 24. When you think about that engine pulling around a truck that weighs 4,000 pounds, those are pretty adequate numbers when you realize what you're actually, the vehicle they have that little engine in. Now, this is the first 4-cylinder engine EcoBoost from Ford that they're also going to offer in the Edge with all-wheel drive, and it has a 3,500 pound towing rating. So the base engine, the 2-liter turbo, you can tow up to 3,500 pounds with it, which is pretty cool. It's not a lot of base engines will do that. Those power numbers are really great when you think that the Jeep Cherokee's 4-cylinder only makes like 184 horsepower. Like it's quite a bit more power. They also have the 2.7 V6 Ecoboost engine. This is the one they just ran through Baja last year, I think, making 315 horsepower. That is optional on the SE, SEL, and Titanium. It is standard on the Sport. It's not throw you in the back aggressive power. It doesn't make you be like, whoa! But at the same time, it's very adequate to moving around that vehicle. It doesn't drive you crazy that much. You do lose a little in fuel economy, 18 city, 27 highway. Really not that big a difference, but you have a very hefty 350 foot-pounds of torque. But you got to rev it high. You got to get it to almost 6,000 RPMs to get that peak torque. But it felt good as an engine. The other thing about that 2.7 is it's a transverse mounted V6, so it's in there kind of sideways. I have pictures of the 2-liter EcoBoost in there, and it kind of looks like it's the Grand Canyon of how far it is, and then when you see them put that 2.7 in there, it really fills up the rest of the engine bay. It's actually kind of neat and interesting. There is a third option, so the 3.5 naturally aspirated V6, because some people don't want a turbo, and so they have that as an option. It makes power, it's like 280-ish, and the torque is like 250-ish. So you're really down on torque. Let's see, we've talked about the outside. The inside of the vehicle feels fantastic. They've upgraded all of the materials on the inside, the plastics, the soft padding. There's not as much hard plastic on the inside, or hard rubber even. They've really kind of softened the interior. There was one auto journalist there while I was there that was like, "With the door you're showing us isn't the base model, it's a trimmed up level." And so I did ask the question, how many consumers or how many of Edge sales are actually base models? It's 10%. They're selling 90% at the upgraded door, upgraded trim level. That's the door they should show us. So Mr. Guy who's asking your question, just ask questions. Shh. That's not nice. Be quiet and just listen for a little bit. I know you guys are paid to ask questions, but every now and then it's worthwhile to listen. Mainly because I don't know what questions to ask. I'd just sit there and be like, yes. There is a panoramic sunroof on the inside. It really brightens up the interior. It is a longer vehicle. You've added about 4 inches of overall length. The wheelbase itself is lengthened just a little bit. It's less than an inch on the wheelbase, so a little over 4 inches on the rest of the vehicle. Almost all of that 4 inches has gone into the rear seat legroom and also the cargo compartment in the back. So they're designing this to go to well-educated professionals with 2 or fewer kids, that they want this to be the car that you take on date night. When you and your buddy and his spouse go out with your wife, this is what the car they want you to take. And to be honest, I would, if I had it, I would absolutely do that. I would volunteer to drive all the time, because it's really a nice, it's a nice environment to be inside of. It wasn't bad at all. I rode in it for numerous hours as we were driving around Arizona on some twisty roads and some highway roads, and I was comfortable by the end of it. I mean, it wasn't. Long car trips to me, because I'm kind of tall, are always fatiguing, but this, I didn't get out going like, oh my god, what have I done today? It was just kind of, all right, we're good. That's about all I've got. If you want more on the Ford Edge, I'm hoping that Ford will send one eventually, and we will be able to test one for a week. Please watch this video so that I can say, hey look, there's an audience for this. But don't worry about it if you don't. So click subscribe at the top. If not, I will see you again soon. I've got a Jeep Cherokee coming up and a Fiat 500 Abarth that will be in the works. And I drove it in some snow, so I've got to get that video recorded, because I didn't get a video of me driving it in the snow because obviously I was busy driving, and I can't be irresponsible and videotape and drive at the same time. That would be dangerous. Danger's not my middle name. It's not my middle name. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.